Welcome to a quick introduction of agility planning that will guide you through the initial steps. So after you've registered at the agility planning website, you can log in with your username and password. And this step will get you to the agility planning modeler, which is the admin interface to manage all your models, the subscription, the user rights, and download all the relevant components. It also manages the safe IP addresses. With ClearJelly, we obviously have a high focus on security, so every user that uses the solution needs to be in a safe list. So typically the first step is to add your IP address, which is just a click of a button here, and this means the user of this IP address can access the system. So if we go back to the modeler, in your case you will likely see an empty database. In our case, there's already something there that was generated with one of the ClearJelly connectors. So for example, here, this is the zero connector. So if you want to build your data model automatically, the only thing you have to do is click on connect to zero. It will ask you for your zero password and username, and will build your model. And this is what we see here. So this was a model that was created with zero. But typically in your case, this will be empty. If you want to work with a model that has already data, you can switch to the demo model. So in the connection drop-down box here, you can switch to the demo model, and here you see now the dimensions and cubes that have been set up for this demo database. Here you can now change the dimensions as required. So for example, if you want to add a new element to the scenario dimension, for example, a new forecasting scenario, you can just add this here, and let's, for example, call it demo, but also not just the initial element, but obviously all the other hierarchies that you want to use as well. If you want to, you can also copy and paste this from Excel. So this is the dimension, which is the building block of agility planning models, and multiple dimensions make up a cube. So we see a few sample models or databases. You can see this finance one has 5 dimensions: scenario, date, organization, department, group, and account. If you want to, you can immediately create a report here on the web to check the data, so by dragging and dropping the items that you want to see in filters, rows, and columns. For example, if you see a report, organization, scenario, and the option to filter by date, you can just drag and drop this here. Now we see the relevant data, and if you want to, we can also filter here, for example, just the Australian numbers. So in the modeler, you also have an option to navigate and create reports. Finally, the modeler also has the audit trail, so you can exactly see in the log who has done what in the model, created dimensions or changed dimensions, created cubes, and so on. And then finally, you can see here all the agility planning manuals. If you go on user manual, we get all the relevant topics that are available and cover the specific items in agility planning. So this was the modeler. The next step is use your data with one of the agility planning front ends. Just go to downloads, and here you have now all the relevant downloads available. So if you use the Excel integration, the Excel add-in setups, and the visuals for Power BI that then you can add into your own reports like any other Power BI visual, and the Power BI sample files. So for example, if you want to see the normal Power BI demo, so one is based on the relational tables and one is based with a semantic layer in between based on SQL Server analysis services. You just click on download, and that will download the Power BI file, which looks like this. So we have a finance dashboard here. In this case here we have a few cubes, comments, the workflow status, finance data, HR data, and sales data, and the related dimensions. To navigate this dashboard now, you have all the functionality available to you that is available in Power BI, which ranges from advanced analytics to see details and get some machine learning advice. So we can see, for example, here what drove the increase of 54% between the current and the previous months, and we can see now Power BI is giving us a lot of automated machine learning findings, what drove this increase. So we can see in this case The major driver was the adventure work cycle and Canadian division. But from here, you can also directly navigate to the planning. So you can drill through to, for example, the sales planning for a particular sales rep. So that sales rep will be automatically filtered based on what we've selected before. And we can switch the scenario now. So we can either continue with the budget scenario that's selected here or switch to another one. Final. We can switch to that, and we see at the moment this is empty. But what we can do now here is, and this is using the agility planning visual that allows you to directly write back to the agility planning model. So for example, if you want to plan for the sales amount in January, $1,000, we can just enter this here. Now this is in the database. And we can also do this on an aggregated level. So if now we want to change the total, we only have this one item, but if we change this to 1,500, you can see now this changes in the model. Similar approach to comments. So we're using here the agility planning comment visual, which allows you to directly enter your comments into the data model. So this is a quick overview of Power BI. The next front end that I would like to cover is the Excel sample report, which you can see here. So you can just download this Excel report, and you will get this workbook that has a few reports. So the finance analysis, finance plan, sales data, and formula report. And here you can immediately also test the functionalities. What you have to do is before you have to make sure that the agility planning add-in is installed, either for the 64-bit or for the 32-bit version. And then when you open the Excel sheet and you're not using Active Directory authentication, you have to log in, which I will do here. With your username and password. And that will connect you to the agility planning server. Use all the filters and switch to the point of view or to the data view that you like to see. So here we can switch, for example, to the Canadian division, but we can also write back. So for example, if I would like to plan now, I can see here the numbers for previous periods, and now I would like to do the new plan. So I would like to have cost now of 1,000. You just enter them directly here, use all the Excel functionality. For example, copy this to the following month. When you're finished, you just press commit, and these values will be written back to the database. So this concludes an initial demo. For any further questions to help you with your specific model setup, please feel free to contact us.